Hello students, in this session we are going to start chemical kinetics, that is a first topic. This is a physical chemistry topic of class 12, chemical kinetics. In this chemical kinetics, the word kinetics, it is derived from a Greek word that means Greek word kinesis. Here this kinesis means it is nothing but movement here. Kinesis means movement. So in this chemical kinetics, the word kinetics is derived from the Greek word kinesis, which means movement. So here chemical kinetics, it deals with what? The movement of chemical reaction. Here in this case, this chemical kinetics, it tells us about the rate of the reaction, mechanism of the reaction, and the factors that are affecting the rate of the reaction. This chemical kinetics, it tells us about how much amount of reactant is getting converted into product. That is given by what? Chemical kinetics here. So this chemical kinetics, it deals with the rate of the reaction and the mechanism of reaction and the factors that are affecting rate of reaction. So all these things will be discussed in the chemical kinetics. So what is this rate of reaction? It is the amount of reactant that is getting converted into product per unit time, that is the rate of the reaction. So this chemical kinetics, it tells us about how much amount of reactant is getting converted into product per unit time, that is what? Rate of the reaction given by chemical kinetics. Already we know that here this thermodynamics, if I take this thermodynamics, it tells us about the feasibility of the reaction, whether the reaction will proceed or not, whether the reactant will getting converted into product or not. That feasibility of the reaction is given by what? Thermodynamics. So here feasibility of reaction, that is given by thermodynamics. Means feasibility is what? For any reaction, if the Gibbs free energy value is less than 0, Gibbs free energy value is negative, then only the reaction will proceed from the reactant to the product side. Such reactions are called as what? Spontaneous reaction. So that feasibility of the reaction is given by Gibbs free energy, that is from the thermodynamics. Gibbs free energy must be less than 0, then the reaction will proceed from reactant to the product, and such reactions are called as what? Spontaneous reactions here. Now if the reaction is feasible, if the reaction takes place, to what extent that reaction will take place, that is given by what? Equilibrium here. This equilibrium, it tells us about the extent of reaction, tells us about extent of reaction. So what do you mean by the extent of reaction? For example, if I take a reactant, this reactant is getting converted into what? Product, and it is taking place in a closed vessel, means it will be a reversible reaction. Initially if I take 100 moles of the reactant and no product will be formed, as the time passes, concentration of this reactant go on decreases and the concentration of product go on increases. After some time there is no change in the concentration of the reactant or product. Such stage of the reaction is called as what? Equilibrium. Already we know that one. So that after some time the reaction may stop at any composition. If you take after some time only 40 moles of reactant is remaining and 60 mole is getting converted into product. After reaching this composition the reaction may stop, or else 70 mole of reactant is as it is and only 30 moles are formed here. Then also at any composition the reaction may stop. So this is what? The reaction may stop at any composition, means at what composition the reaction will stop, that is given by what? Equilibrium. Here reaction may stop at any composition, at any composition. So now what is the role of this chemical kinetics? This chemical kinetics, it tells us about how much time is taken by the reaction to reach this equilibrium position. That will be given by what? Chemical kinetics. It tells us about the time taken by the reactant or the time taken by the reaction to reach the equilibrium position, that is given by what? Chemical kinetics. So this is the role of chemical kinetics here. Chemical kinetics, it tells us about time taken by the particular reaction to reach equilibrium position. So to reach the equilibrium position, how much amount of time is taken, that is given by what? Chemical kinetics. So the next point, now the chemical reaction may proceed at a very faster rate, or some of the reactions are there, they proceed at very slow rate, or the reaction may proceed at a moderate speed. Okay, so here the example for such type of reactions are, here the reactions may proceed at very fast rate, okay, and they may take place at a moderate speed, or the reaction may proceed with very slow rate here. Okay, this chemical kinetics, it is applicable only for the reaction which are taking place at a moderate speed, and this chemical kinetics cannot be applied for the reaction which are taking place at very fast rate or very slow rate here. This is applicable only for what? The reaction which are taking place at the moderate rate. For example, here if silver nitrate AgNO3 is added to the ammonium chloride, the reaction takes place at very faster rate, so that AgCl is precipitated immediately whenever we add AgNO3 to the solution of ammonium chloride in the test tube. So for this reaction, chemical kinetics cannot be applied here. Next, some of the reaction they will take place at what? A moderate rate here, moderate speed. For example, that is the hydrolysis of ester. Hydrolysis of ester I will take. So this hydrolysis of ester, for example, here this is your ester. The hydrolysis of this ester takes place at what? A moderate speed, so that here water molecule is added. Just you have to break this bond. This is a CH3COOH plus you will get methyl alcohol, that is CH3OH. This reaction takes place at a moderate speed, so that chemical kinetics is applicable for this one. Another example is here inversion of cane sugar. Inversion of cane sugar. Here also what happens? This reaction takes place at a moderate speed, so that you can apply the chemical kinetics. For example, here this is C12 H22 O11 plus water. This is nothing but your sucrose. This sucrose is getting converted into what? Glucose plus fructose here. This is a glucose plus fructose. Now this is also taking place at a moderate speed here. Now there are some reaction which proceeds at very slow rate. For them also this chemical kinetics is not applicable. For example, rusting of iron. Rusting of iron, it takes place at a very slow rate here. Another example is we know that here diamond is thermodynamically unstable. It will be getting converted into graphite, but it takes several years of time to convert that diamond into graphite, so that for that reaction also this chemical kinetics cannot be applicable here. So here this diamond is getting converted into graphite. It takes so many years to convert a diamond into graphite, so that for this type of reaction kinetics is not applicable. So the next point is, what is the rate of the reaction? One thing you keep in mind, whenever a reaction proceeds, whenever a reactant is getting converted into product, always the concentration of the reactant decreases and the concentration of product will increase. Decrease in the concentration of the reactant indicated with a negative sign. Increase in the concentration of the product is what? indicated with positive sign. So already we know that the molar concentration of this reactant or product, it is indicated with a square bracket. This, if I write this square bracket, it is nothing but the molar concentration of reactant, that is mole per liter here. Now I will define what is the rate of reaction. So the next point is rate of the reaction. What is the rate of reaction? It is the change in the concentration of the reactant or product per unit time, that is called as what? Rate of reaction. That is how many moles of reactants that are getting converted into product per unit time, or how many moles of products are formed per unit time. That is what? Rate of the reaction. That is change in the concentration of reactant or product per unit time is taken as what? Rate of the reaction. Here if I take this rate of the reaction, it is nothing but change in concentration, that is dx divided by small change in time, that is dt here, or else in some book they have given dc by dt, or it may be da by dt, like that they have given. Here x is equal to c is equal to a is nothing but concentration of the reactants, so that here this is a molar concentration of reactant, nothing but mole per liter here. Okay, so what is the rate of reaction? Change in concentration divided by time taken here. So this rate of the reaction is nothing but change in concentration, change in concentration of the reactants divided by reactants or product divided by time taken here, time taken. So here this rate of the reaction can also be defined as, to be more specific, this is also defined as decrease in the concentration of reactant per unit time, that is also rate of the reaction. Increase in the concentration of the product per unit time, that is also what? Rate of the reaction. So another definition is here decrease in the concentration of reactant, decrease in the molar concentration of reactant per unit time. This is also rate of the reaction, or else it is also defined as increase in the molar concentration of the product per unit time. So here the concentration of the reactant is decreasing, so that the reactant is disappearing. So decrease in the concentration of the reactant per unit time is the rate of reaction. It is also called as rate of disappearance of the reactant. Here increase in the concentration of product per unit time is nothing but what here? Rate of appearance of product, that is also what? Rate of the reaction. So that here rate of the reaction can be defined with respect to reactant as well as product, or else in common you can say that the change in concentration of the reactant or product per unit time, that is also rate of the reaction. So here decrease in the concentration of reactant per unit time is called as what here? It is nothing but rate of disappearance. Rate of disappearance of reactants, or else this is called as rate of appearance of the product here. Rate of appearance of product here. So this is a molar concentration of the product is increasing here. Now in this one, if I take a reaction, suppose this is the reaction here, reactant is getting converted into product. You will take the time interval, that is a time t1 and this will be time t2. At time t1 the molar concentration of the reactant is taken as what? R1. At time t2 its concentration will be what here? This is taken as R2. Now at time t2 t1 the concentration of the product is P1, at time T2 the concentration of the product is T2 here. If you take the change in the concentration of reactant R2 minus R1, change in the concentration of the product P2 minus P1, and the time taken for this change, that is what? T2 minus T1. So for this one you can write change in the concentration of reactant, that is nothing but delta R, nothing but R2 minus R1, concentration of the reactant after some time minus initial concentration, or else change in the concentration of the product, that is how much amount of product is formed, initial, that is final minus initial here, again this will be P2 minus P1. Next the time taken for this one, that is the delta T, that is T2 minus T1. From here to here, how much amount of time is consumed here. Now the rate of the reaction is written as with respect to change in the concentration of reactant or with respect to change in the concentration of product here. This rate of the reaction can also be written as rate of reaction is equal to change in concentration of reactant divided by time taken, or else rate of the reaction is equal to change in the concentration of product divided by time interval. But one thing you have to concentrate here, whenever you are writing rate of the reaction with respect to decrease in the concentration of the reactant, compulsory you have to write a negative sign here, because if you take the difference between the change in the concentration of the reactant R2 minus R1, always this quantity will be negative. What you will get here, this delta R value is always negative, but here the rate of the reaction is always a positive quantity. In order to make this rate of the reaction positive quantity, this delta R must be multiplied with what, -1, so that the whole term becomes as what, positive here. So this is what the significance of negative sign. Always one thing you keep in mind, decrease in the concentration of reactant is negative sign, increase in the concentration of the product is what, positive sign here. So this is how you can write the rate of the reaction. What is the significance of negative sign here? Always the delta R value is negative here, but the rate of the reaction is what, always a positive quantity. So here if you write like this, you will get a negative value here. So in order to make it a positive quantity, this delta R value is multiplied with the -1, so that the whole term becomes as what, positive. That's why here negative sign is written here. Now in this one thing you can write here, that is, this is nothing but rate of disappearance here, rate of disappearance, rate of disappearance of reactant, or this is also what, rate of appearance. So here product is formed, it is positive sign, reactant is decreased, its concentration is decreasing, it is what, negative sign. Now you see here rate of the reaction is inversely proportional to what, time taken. So this rate is reciprocal of time, always it is inversely proportional to the time here. So rate of the reaction is maximum, means the time taken will be less here. Next point. So the next point is average rate of the reaction and instantaneous rate of reaction. Average rate of reaction and instantaneous rate of reaction. Already we know what is the rate of the reaction, that is a change in the concentration of the reactant or product per unit time is what, rate of the reaction. Now what is difference between this average rate of the reaction and instantaneous rate of the reaction? If the rate of the reaction is measured over a long time of interval, then it is called as what, average rate of the reaction. If the rate of the reaction is measured at a particular instant of time, or it is measured for extremely small interval of time, then it is called as what, instantaneous rate of the reaction. What is average rate of the reaction? If the rate of the reaction is measured over a long interval of time here, rate average, you will write rate average, rate measured over long interval of time, and here rate instantaneous rate of the reaction is rate measured at particular instant of time, here. Suppose if I measure a rate of the reaction between the 5th minute to 10th minute. For example, a reaction is taking place for a time interval of 1 to 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, the reaction is going to stop here. Suppose if I measure the rate of the reaction between the time interval of 5th second to 10th second, then that is called as what? Average rate of the reaction. If I measure the rate of the reaction exactly at the 5th second, at particular instant of time, what is the rate of the reaction at particularly at the 9th second? That is what? Instantaneous rate of the reaction. Instantaneous rate of reaction is nothing but what? It is measured over a very short interval of time or at the particular interval of time. Here this is the rate average as compared to this one. At particular instant means exactly at the 5th second, what is the rate of the reaction? That is instantaneous. What is the rate of the reaction? That is between the 5th to 10th second, some one time interval is there, that is what? Average rate of the reaction here. Now in this one, if I take a graph here, for example, here this is the rate of the reaction versus time here. Suppose if I take along y-axis, we will take concentration of the reactant, and along x-axis I will take what? Time interval here. Already we know that during a chemical reaction, the concentration of the reactant go on decreases as time increases here. Suppose if I take the initial concentration of the reactant is R0, we will take, this will be your R0, okay. Now here this is after some time the concentration of the reactant is going to decrease, it become as R1, and again as time passes, again its concentration go on decrease, it will be what? R2. So that if you draw the graph of concentration of the reactant versus time, there is a decrease in the concentration of the reactant as time passes here. Now at particular time here, the concentration of the reactant is what? R1. So at this time I will take it as what? This will be T1. And here the concentration of the reactant is R2. At particular instant of time, that will be what here? T2. From here to here, R1 to R2, what is the change in the concentration here? That is nothing but delta R. That is a decrease in the concentration of the reactant, delta R. And here this is your delta T. This is the time interval taken for this change. So this is what here, if I draw a tangent here, the slope of the tangent will be what? Giving rate of the reaction. So here this will be B and this is A. Okay, this is a time interval and this is what? The change in the concentration of reactant here. Now this slope will be negative slope you will get, and that is equal to what? B by A. So the rate of the reaction with respect to reactant is given by negative delta R, that is a change in the concentration of reactants, divided by the time interval delta T. This is the at particular time interval you have taken. This is what? Rate average. Average rate of the reaction is decrease in the concentration of the reactant divided by time taken here. Suppose if you take the measurement of rate of the reaction at particular instant of time, you take very short interval here. Suppose if I take this is very short interval, and this is a small change in the concentration of the reactant, and this is a small time interval here. So in this case what happens? Rate instantaneous, we call it as rate instantaneous, extremely a small time interval. If you take the small time interval or small change in the concentration, then we are using what? For small change we are using a symbol like dx and dt here, like this. So for instantaneous rate of reaction, the small change or the small decrease in the concentration of the reactant is minus dr divided by the time taken is what? Dt. This is your rate instantaneous rate of the reaction. This is how with the graphical representation also, by using graph you can calculate what? Rate average and instantaneous rate of the reaction. Here also you can draw the tangent here. Now this rate average rate of the reaction become as instantaneous rate of the reaction when this delta T tends to be 0. As this delta T tends to 0 means this go on decrease and ultimately it becomes 0. As it tends to 0 means it is not equal to 0, it is going near to the 0. So this time interval decrease means it is a very short time interval. So that short time interval is taken as what? Instantaneous rate of the reaction. So as the delta T tends to 0, time interval go on decrease and it become very close to the 0, then rate average can be taken as what? Rate instantaneous. So if I take rate average. Always you keep in mind rate average is over a long interval of time. For that we are using delta here. Small change is what? dr, that is rate instantaneous. We are using what? dr. For small changes we are using d. For a particular time interval you are taking what? delta here. So if I take rate average, that is delta x, change in the concentration divided by what? time taken, that is delta t. Here this is your rate average. This rate average become as instantaneous rate of reaction as this delta t tends to 0. As this delta t tends to 0, this rate average is getting converted into what? Instantaneous rate of reaction. That is nothing but small dx by dt, where dx by dt is what? Small changes. Here if I take, this is the dx by dt, small change in concentration. This is your small change in concentration divided by small change in time. Small change in time. So this is how the rate average and instantaneous rate of the reaction can be calculated here. Next point. So the next point is units of rate of reaction. Units of rate of the reaction. Already we know what is the rate of reaction here. Rate of the reaction is change in concentration of reactant or product per unit time. So this is a change in the concentration of reactant or product divided by time taken it is. So what will be the rate of the reaction? What is the unit of rate of reaction here? Unit will be mole per liter per unit time. This time go to numerator. This is what? Per unit time it is. So now this can also be written as what here? Per unit time is nothing but mole per liter per second. Also you can take mole per liter per minute also you can take. Okay. So this is the unit of the rate of reaction for the liquid reactants, okay, in the aqueous medium. Now if the gaseous reactants are involved in the chemical reaction, then their concentration is expressed in terms of what? Partial pressure. So the rate of the reaction is partial pressure of the gas divided by what? Time taken here. For that one, rate of the reaction is nothing but partial pressure of gas divided by time taken. Change in the partial pressure of the gas here. So what is the unit of pressure of the gas here? This is nothing but atmosphere. Time is you take in the numerator. This become as what? Atmosphere per time you can take. Or else if the pressure of the gas is measured in terms of bar, this is also taken as bar per unit time. So here this can also be written as what? Atmosphere per second, atmosphere per minute. Here this is bar per second, this is bar per minute. Like this you have to use the unit of the rate of the reaction. This is for gases. If the gases are involved in the chemical reaction, then it is the unit of rate of reaction. For the liquids, for liquid reactants, this is the unit of the rate of reaction it is.